Hello everyone, Pixie and I are on another walk. Hi, I have my big brimmed hat on and I'm smelling like camp, like bug spray. I don't know, growing up my father took us on many camping trips because it was a cheaper way to travel. And it was fun. It was like every campsite was an adventure. Anyway, so I smell like that right now. And even though it is a chemical smell, it reminds me of those days when I was young and we were on campsites, going from here to here to here to here to there to there. You know, like we would cross the country in the U.S. From Ohio and camp all the way out to California. Now, when my sons were young, we also did the same thing. From Florida, listen now, from Florida all the way to Washington State, Seattle. Camping, yeah. So this smell reminds me of so many good memories, even though, of course, it is chemically. So, we're next to a farm field here. Very pretty, and then we're going to head up there. There's a horse farm over there. I don't know if you can see the fences, but there's a horse farm here. Here's the field. Same farmer, I think. Not really sure. And a horse farm. So Pixie is smelling everything. She loves being out here, and it's like, I don't know, a big trip for her. Come on, girl. So now you see why I have my big brimmed hat, because it's really sunny. Look at that. So, big brimmed hat goes all the way around my head, and that makes it, you know, easier. It's kind of hot here. So we were over there, and now we're over here, and we're going to pass by this farm here. See the fences? Let's keep going. So we came, this is the horse farm right here. So we came down this path, past that little house right there, and then up the path here. And we're getting ready to go into, we've been on the edge of the forest here for a few steps here, but we're going to go into the forest now. And here are some path signs. All of the paths are very well marked. They tell you what to look for. You see? It's kind of nice, right? Ooh, badger. Look at that. Foxes, birds, deer. Wow, amazing. Now, I haven't seen any of that. Hello? I haven't seen any of that. But we will look. And maybe we'll find something. Come on. Come on, Pixie. So now, with just in a few steps, we're in the forest. When we first started off with Pixie, you know, Pixie is, no, don't eat that grass, Pixie. We were in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan, so that's where she's from. She didn't respond to any English, but now she does, of course. After, I think, 5.5 years now. We've had her for 5.5 years. Of course, she responds to her name and some basic commands, but we have not put a lot of training her through a lot of training because she's really smart. That's number one. And she figures out things very quickly. And most of the time, she's food motivated. That makes her very compliant to whatever situation requires. I'm just showing you around. She's such a good dog. But we primarily let her be what she is. Now, she does have trauma from that time. Her second owners were just terrible. They would kick her and throw things at her. How do we know this? Because when anything drops or falls, she just screams and runs away. When I'm changing out of my clothes, like I'll take my belt off, you know, and I'm switching into shorts, she screams and runs away. In her night, when she's dreaming, she'll scream. And we just try to surround her with love. We really do. Because we have an idea of what she's been through, and it wasn't good. So, a rescue dog on a path in Switzerland, in the forest. This is sort of like heaven for her. Okay, so we're in the forest here, but I want to show you something. The Swiss are amazing. First of all, we have these workout areas. They're all along the path. You can do pull-ups and chin-ups and things like that. And then they have this running path, but it's not made up of just gravel. This is sawdust. So we are about, I don't know, 400 or 500 steps beyond where we were last time. We were down that way and to the right. So we're getting into the forest, deep forest now, not the edge. And let's look at this. Man, that's nice. And I have to tell you, I was riding, what is that? Never been on that path before. Where does that go? Let me think. Where could this go? All right, let's go. I have to tell you, I was riding my bike home from school. By the way, yesterday was the last day of school for the summer, and it was a tough year. Very tough year. But on and off, weekly, I'd be in the forest like this, and it would just help me right through. It was a tough year. Anyway, I was on my bike coming home from school. Come on. Let's go. There you go, girly girl. All right. And I was listening to the tires of my bike and on the gravel coming home. And I realized that is such a peaceful sound, just rolling. And another peaceful sound is walking through the forest, just walking. Listen, I know it's not loud, but you hear the birds and my feet and Pixie. Let's look around and see if we can see any of those animals that were on that sign. So I've talked about many times in other videos. Maybe you might want to check up here, and I have links to other videos I've made. I've said before, the forest and times like these, even when I'm riding through the forest by myself, and the forest and the time here is a time of reflection and calm, and a time of centering for me. I'm surprised there aren't more people here. Come on, girl. Come on, let's go. Good girl. And it's a time of reflection and just calm and peace for my soul, I think we all need this time where we reflect on our surroundings, yes, our relationships, yes, but also who we are. When we lose that time to think about who we are right now, this second, what do we represent? You know, if something were to happen to me, I think about what would be the legacy of what I've done or my personality. We always think about success with money, or success with things, or success with where we live. But I don't think so. I think those things are fleeting, and they're not as important as maybe we think they are. I think success is, what did we leave behind? And is the world better because we're in it? Because we did some things to help others. I kind of get choked up because there are so many, and I tell my students this, there are too many selfish people in the world. And sometimes I admit I'm selfish, you know? I have to work on that. But there are too many selfish people in the world. We don't need any more. We don't need any more. And I'm in that group too. I have to be careful of what I'm thinking, what I do, you know, those type of things. But anyway, coming to the forest, a peaceful place like this, helps me reflect on what I could do better. We all stand for something. We really do. Even if we don't think about it, we stand for something. We all do. That's the truth. Okay, so enough of that. And let's get back to nature. Here's a little meadow here. A little meadow. Look at that. Right in the middle of the forest. Maybe there were some big trees in here. I don't know. Okay. Have I done this path before? I don't think. Yes, I've done this path before. Yes, I have. So let's go down. I've been up this hill with my bike. It's really pretty up there. Look at the trees. Wait a minute. I know this field. Oh my goodness. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see what I'm seeing. Now, there's no way I can capture it, you know, accurately. There's no possible way. But here we have Lake Zurich and the hills beyond. These trees here in the foreground with some houses right there. Here's a field, the trees, the lake, and the mountains in the back. We can't really see the mountains, but we can see the hills. So let me zoom in real fast, okay? Let me get this shot. I don't know if you can see all of that, what I just explained. I don't know why I'm talking quietly. You know, sometimes you come to a place that's so beautiful, you don't want to disturb it. So getting loud disturbs it. I guess it's time in this clip to end it, but before we end this video, let me try to get the lighting right here. That's a little bit better. A little backstory. So my wife and I are Americans, and we live here in close to Zurich, Switzerland, a few miles from Zurich, south. And we are international teachers. I teach music. I'm a musician. I play cello. And if you look at some of my old videos during COVID, you'll see some lessons, cello lessons, recorder lessons. I teach the little ones general music for elementary, or here they call it primary. So yeah, that's what I do. And I want to tell you, as I always end, as I do when I end all of these videos, if you'd like to subscribe, or you would like to hit the like button or the bell button for notifications, please do so. That's up to you. More importantly, please comment. Write a comment. I respond to each and every comment. They're so important to me. So if you have a thought, write it down, and then I'll respond to it, okay? Thank you for everything. Please have a very, very good day.